Hi, everyone. For all the people who don't know me yet, I'm Sophie Cerny from Vienna, Austria. I'm a facilitator since 2.5 years in Access Consciousness, and I'm doing Access since 8 years. I started all for myself. I did all these classes to fix myself, and I thought I'm a not very joyful person. Haha, that was a lie. And this year, I started this big campaign about being joy. I started a podcast and it's called Joy Bombs, just for being happy and joyful again in our lives. And I think this is one of the most desire of people at the moment, because so many people are really unhappy and we buy all those lies of being joyful. So what judgments do you have about being happy, joyful, creating the life you truly desire? And everything that is times a gazillion, will we now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And what I also experienced was that people are like searching for joy instead of choosing joy. So how often did you buy this lie that happiness and being joyful is a feeling? Is it really a feeling, or is it what you are? It's not a feeling, by the way. So everywhere you bought the lie, it is a feeling, and you have to be very lucky to be joyful and have a joyful life. Will you now please destroy and uncreate all of that, please? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah. So Nadia, what is joy for you?
Yeah, joy for me is being me. And
yes.
It's actually a natural state when you have no expectations and you're like children, you wake up and okay, what next, what today, like what can I choose? And actually I have some questions for you, maybe if I can right now, or it's like when we are talking about joy, so many people have, like when I talk with my clients and people have this are usually asking me something like that, like it's wrong, it sometimes seems wrong to be joyful because then something bad will happen or people will judge you or exclude you. So how much is like joy or happiness made wrong in this reality? Can you a little bit maybe address that so we can invite people to different reality?
Yes, totally. So how old have all of you been? Just get a number of your age where you said, okay, or where you made the decision, I will not be joyful anymore. Maybe your parents told you you're too loud, you're too happy. Maybe your grandfather or grandmother, maybe some friends, or in school. All the time people are telling you you are too loud. I mean, you even get you will be thrown out of a restaurant if you are too happy and too joyful. So get an age of yourself when you decided, okay, I will not be happy in this life anymore. I will turn off my joy. And all the decisions you made, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, yes. Wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And I remember a time when I was with some Access people in a restaurant. It was in summer and we were really happy and we were laughing all the time. And we were in a restaurant and the people next to us, they looked at us and were super mad. And we're like, these people are drunk people. They are wasted. And we didn't drink any alcohol. We were just super happy all the time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So everywhere you made your joy wrong, will you now please destroy and uncreate all of that? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And I mean, even in our childhood, they tell us to be silent. How often did you hear, please be silent? Or if you are in the, let's say, in the bus, in an airplane, everyone is telling you to shut down and not to be that noisy, and you could annoy other people with your joy. So everything that brought up will we now destroy and uncreate it all, please. Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And the lovely people on the call, you can also write in the chat what is joy for you and what are your and yeah, what is holding you from being joyful. So you can also interact with us. You can also ask us questions, and you can also write it in the chat. And you can also share your experience when you started to turn off your joy.
And so many people have conditioned their joy with something like, when I get this, or when I, will have this, or when this will happen, then I will be happy or joyful. But this is true, Sophie.
Yes, that's true. You have to be born as a lucky one, otherwise you will never be joyful. So everything that is times a gazillion, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Sandra, my cat is always doing the same. I'm translating or I'm having a Zoom and the cat is coming through the screen. Yeah, so what you said, it's not, so we bought the lie that it is something you have to reach. If you are earning enough money, you will be joyful. If you have a fulfilling job, you will be joyful. If you have the perfect partner, you will be joyful. That's
but
a
you
lie.
need to choose the joy then.
Huh?
At the end, you need to choose the joy, and you can choose it now.
Yes, exactly. What if joy is just a choice? And we bought into all these lies that happiness and this joy is just for a certain amount of people. So everything that is times a gazillion, will you now destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. What if joy is a really active action you have to take, and you have to choose it all day long? And especially in those days, especially in those time, people doesn't seem to be really joyful. So where did you also buy the lie that it's yours? Because if you are feeling sad, or if you have depressions and something like that, it has never something to do with you. And I know I didn't believe that at the beginning as well, but as Nadia said, being joyful is your natural state. So this is a lie that it's yours. So all the people on the Zoom, will you now be willing to send it back to all the, how do you say, to all the addresses where it's coming from? And send it back with consciousness attached, please. Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds.
Oh, now I remembered, like in the beginning when I started Access, I acknowledge how much I have decided that in order for me to allow myself to be happy and joyful, I need to make people around me, especially people close to me, happy. So we can enjoy happiness together, It's like to first make other people happy, so I can be even more happy if they are happy, And I see many people, maybe also on this Zoom, have decided that somewhere that your job in this world is to make other people happy, so you can be then happy. It's like, maybe Sophie, you can address this a little bit.
Yeah, that's so cool what you say. That's really awesome. It's like this, if I'm happy, everyone else will also be happy.
Yes. So it's actually the other way around. It's easier. You can just choose happiness, and then you will inspire those who want to be happy to be happy.
Yeah. So what energy, space, and consciousness can me and your and our bodies be to be an invitation for joy? You truly are, without any point of views if other people are choosing it or not.
Yeah, that's a great one. Write it down.
And everything that is times a gazillion, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Because this is the thing, and this is also what we are doing in this specific times. We are always bringing this, we want to bring the lightness into a heaviness. How often have you tried to bring lightness into heaviness instead of, okay, it's very interesting that you are choosing it, I will choose something else. Okay, here's the joy. And this is because you mentioned already the Talk to the Entities class. This is also something we will explore, because there are entities who are not contributing, and there are entities who are contributing. And it's your choice to whom you look, you know? And this is also the same with people. Are you always searching for the people who aren't a contribution, who aren't supportive to you, who aren't nurturing to you? Are you making them more real and, yeah, more real? Or are you choosing the other people who are really empowering you and are really nurturing you?
Wow. Wow, this is great. We need to get present with this, because sometimes we automatically are more used to these not so cool energies, maybe from our childhood, or, you know, from some abuses that we have experienced. And it's like, then we don't even know what else is available. So yeah, it's brilliant what you just said. And I just remembered how, like, actually talked when I first time attended Talk to the Entities class, and this was the class that I was the most avoiding, because I thought, oh, I know all about entities already, like what is there, what can be more, like blah blah blah. And then I was so fascinated, because in this beginning class that I took for the first time, now it's going to be several years ago, it's like there were so much new things and so much awarenesses that brought me lightness and clarity on the stuff that were constantly going on for me, but I have no clue, or I was not able to address them verbally. So I'm really excited, and I'm not Talk to the Entities facilitator, and I am talking a lot about entities, and people are so much asking in Slovenia for more of this information and more of this knowledge. And yeah, and that's why I'm super grateful that I can host you to contribute that this class will happen in Slovenia. So you guys who are watching this or have interest in that topic can join and yeah, change your way of being with entities and receive more energy. So yeah, that's really awesome, and we will tell maybe more about the class. We can tell at the end, yeah. And I just wanted to, this is like, there are two things that I would like also to ask. It's like, one is connected to entities, and I love, the other thing is what was written in the description of this Zoom. It's like, it was one sentence that it was really popping for me. It's like, joy works. You know, it's like choosing joy actually works, and it creates more. And it's, can you say more about that? It's like, yeah, it's so simple, it's so true. Yeah, actually, joy works better than sadness. You know, it's like, it works. So why won't we choose that?
I have to tell you the background story about that sentence.
Okay.
Because in Austria, and also I think in Germany, we have this big advertising about getting vaccinated, and it's everywhere written, vaccination, being vaccinated works. And get your booster.
And you were like just saying, joy works.
Exactly. So I called it not get your booster, like get your joy booster, and joy works.
Oh, wow, that's actually brilliant. How cool. I totally love it. I got goosebumps now. Oh, cool. And you know what? I will never forget. Gary once said to me, like, in a class, I was asking something. He said, you know, if people will put so much attention, as much attention as they are putting on pain and suffering and what's wrong, on joy and on hedonistic lifestyle, on pleasures, on seeking pleasure, they will never be sick, and their lives will be totally different. So it's, and we know that when people are like in hospital, or if they're sick, or, you know, it's like, and if they are how can I say, mentally joyful, it will heal their body.
Yes, and it's really interesting. I think the Slovenian people know her. She's called Louise Hay. She has nothing to do with access, but she wrote this amazing book about what is the reason for certain sicknesses. And when you read, I was really curious what she wrote about a virus. What is the reason to get a virus? And it was just one sentence. It's the lack of joy.
Wow.
So what if you allow yourself to bring really this joyful, this joy in every action you take, even if you are ironing, your clothes? What if it can be joyful?
How can you make it joyful? Everything that you are choosing,
Yeah, exactly. And it's so funny because Europe is, let's say, a first world country, a first world continent, and all the people are in a lack of joy. And it's really interesting. And if you are going to other countries, to other continents, people have much less money, for example, food, blah, 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 blah. But they seem to be more happy. They are not in this lack of happiness and joy. So how come that we are all in this, that we all bought this lie of joy is something, you shouldn't have that. It's poison.
That's so true. And I have seen that. It's like in Africa, people have a point of view, oh, people there are poor and hungry, but those children there are 1,000 times happier than kids that I have seen in my country. Like the children I have seen there, they have this joy playing outside, and like they have nothing, but they are just they were joyful when I was there. It's like, and I experienced that, then it was, wow. So it's really just a choice, and it's available no matter what you have or don't have. It's available. Even if you don't think you have reasons to choose joy, you can still choose it. You know?
That's a good point. What if you don't have to have a reason to be joyful? What if you give up the lie of, I have to have a reason why I can be joyful? We are always like this, with this why. So I have this, that's why I'm happy. I have this, that's why I'm happy.
Conditioning something,
conditionings. And what you said about what Gary said, this is also very interesting. We have problems because we judge things. If we wouldn't judge all those things, we wouldn't have problems. The judgments are creating the problems.
Gary also said there are no problems except those we create or choose.
Yes, and we create them because we are judging certain situations in our lives. And what if we can really be also in this grateful energy for everything we have? And what if really everything can come to us with ease, joy, and glory? Even a virus, a sickness, losing a job, for example.
And also what people would ask here, I'm asking also for some other people. So it's like can entities block our joy or can affect our joy? Or can you address this?
Yeah. So let's talk about entities. So if some stuff in your life is going on and you don't know why, if you have some body issues, for example, and you have no clue what it is, if you are aware of energies and you cannot deal with it, if you cannot create the life you truly desire, but you are trying your best, let's say, it might be some awareness about entities. About entities who are not that contributive to your life. And what was your question, Nadia?
If entities can actually affect or limit our joy, so we cannot be so joyful because we are maybe aware of entities and we don't know, or Yeah.
So exactly, and this is what I wanted to say. So yes, it can be. I mean, we are still choosing it somehow. And I would say it like that. If you have things going on in your life and it's not working, and you are suppressing your awareness about entities, it's getting worse, because awareness is, or consciousness, as you know, has always your back. But if you are like suppressing your awareness and you're like, I don't want to see something, I don't want to hear something, I'm not here, and this has nothing to do with me, things are getting worse, because you can never hide some awareness. So awareness is always on your side. You just have to acknowledge it. And what if you can be the joyful witch you truly are?
Yeah.
And how often are people, I mean, especially in Slovenia, I have been there already. Barbara hosted me with some money classes, and we did some SOP sessions. And I know you are all very powerful. You are super witches, and everyone is like, no, no, it has nothing to do with me. No, no, no. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's probably true. So come and change that for us.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and also here, once again, we are turning always to the heavy entities, to the ones who are bringing us down, instead of turning to the beings of light, to our teammates, to have more joy in our life. And I always bring this example. If you get 2 messages on a day, and one person is writing you, hey, I'm super grateful for you, thank you that you are in my life, and the other person is like, hey, I think you are fucked up and I don't like you because you did this and this and this wrong. And then you are lying in bed at the end of the day. What are you thinking? About whom are you thinking? About the message, hey, I'm super grateful for you, or the message, I don't like you, you made everything wrong?
I think the most people will answer to the second. They were thinking about the bad message.
The bad message, exactly.
Yeah, I even like my best friend, like my really good friend, she's now super successful in her business, and she is still depressed. Like she get thousands of messages of like how awesome her product is, how everything is amazing. And if she will get one that this is shitty product, she will be depressed. Like it's so funny how we function, you know? It's like even if we get so much more of the good messages, how one bad can affect us.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So which judgments are we making real and true? And everything that is times a gazillion. Can we now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. This is such an insanity which is going on in the world, that we are making judgments more real and true. And this is the killer number 1 to destroy our joy, if we give a fuck about those judgments. What if we don't give a fuck anymore about those judgments? Because yeah, because people are judging us anyway. So you cannot stop your awareness. You cannot, I mean, you can, and you also can stop the life you really would like to design. But if someone wants to judge you, they will judge you. It doesn't matter what you are doing. It doesn't matter if you're by their judgment and you're trying to become perfect, and it doesn't matter if you are just joyful. So, hey, people, that's good news. Just choose joy.
Yeah, that's so. It's actually very simple when we get it.
Yeah, but you get it when you get it, right?
Yeah, you get it when you get it. Yeah. Yeah, and actually, I was thinking before your Zoom, like, what does it take to actually choose joy? You know, and it actually, I think it actually takes willingness to be you and to be different. It actually also takes a little bit of intelligence. And especially in Europe and in Slovenia, it also takes courage. you know, you need to be brave enough to choose it, because it's like, you know, so I think if you came to this Zoom, you have all of that. And I think it won't be a problem choosing more of that every day. And then, you know, it's like I find myself in the beginning when I started Access, and I kind of start knowing or really acknowledging that sadness or joy is just a choice. I was sometimes judging myself when I was not being joyful or not choosing joy, because I could and I should and it's better. So can you maybe talk a little bit more about that? Even like, you know, so people don't judge themselves when they are not choosing what they now can choose, or, you know.
Yeah, this is really interesting that you're saying that, because I think I had kind of the same. I started with Access and I was not right away happy and joyful. And I saw all these CFs and those Access people, and they were sharing their advertising and everyone was super happy. And I was like, this must be all fake, right? Yeah. So I remember I had kind of the same. I was like, why are they all so happy? Why are they all so joyful? And I was like in this, can't be true. It can't be true. But then if you really find out it's a choice, and that you can be joyful really in every moment, and that you can choose it in every second, not in every 10 seconds, you can choose it every second. Yeah, things are changing. And I mean, everything is changing, because most of the people here, they know that money follows joy, and it's the same with all the other things.
Mm-hmm. Everything comes to you when you are joyful, and this is so true. You know, like when did you met your partner? When you were happily single. You know, it's like when you didn't need it anyone, when you were joyful, enjoying your life. Then those are the moments that you all can remember, when everything just flows to you, and it's so cool. Yeah, and also one more thing I just remembered. It's like I was really being joyful, and I still am. Like I'm more joyful than majority of Slovenians, and you know, and people are coming to me and they are telling me, Nadia, you were so joyful. I thought you are faking, and I get so angry and I hate you. You know, I hated you. And then and then people, you know, after a while they change or something, and they you know, and now they are coming to me, or I don't know, to my classes, or they're my friends or whatever, coming to my life and telling me this. And they are acknowledging they were actually angry at themselves, because deep down they knew it could be that simple, but you know, it was for their brain, and you know, it was for their mind, it was not so easy to get it at the first moment. So I would just like to address it, because I was also judging myself. Once I had class with Rachel O'Brien, we had class about money, and I was so joyful, and she said, oh my God, could you perceive that there was just so much energy of hate projected at you, because you are so young and so joyful and talking about money? And then I was like really like contracting, because this was happening to me. And please don't do that. They are never hating you, or like they are never like, you know, it's just what you are actually changing something in their world. So if they will be willing to choose joy, it will become more available to them in their life later. But sometimes people first reaction is like they go into judgment of you, so they cannot receive what you have. And this is very important, because even it like to acknowledge, it's very important to acknowledge, because everybody that you judge, you will eliminate yourself from having this. And this is what, you know, those judgments are not true, and people are just pissed off at themselves because it doesn't compute with their mind. It doesn't, you know,
Doesn't
so
fit in their reality,
yeah,
right?
it doesn't fit their reality, but still choose that, even in the face of judgment. Be that joy, because this is the only way how you can invite and inspire others and the world to become more joyful place, you know. So yeah.
And what regarding to your question, you can be a drama queen, and it can also being a drama queen can be really super fun if you choose it consciously. If you're saying, okay, I'm pissed off, I'm super, I don't know, angry with you, with your boyfriend, for example, let's say, and you choose it, but you choose it consciously. And then, I mean, if you get this twist when it's not controlling you anymore, when you really can shift the energy, it's so much fun, because then you can really watch like, okay, I'm a drama queen and it's boring now, what can I choose now? And then you can just shift it
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah,
That,
so interesting. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Any questions from the chat or something?
Ask Sophie anything you want.
It was also really funny when I came from SOP. I was in New York and I came back, and there is a famous woman magazine in Austria, and I opened it, and there were all these feelings listed, and there was this feeling joy, yeah, which is not a feeling, guys, I told you before. And it was funny because it said, yeah, if a woman is too joyful in her job, she's not, people will not see her as, will not take her serious. And this was so weird because it's so insane, it's so not true. And I was coming from SOP and was super joyful and super much space and like, la, 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 life is so beautiful today. And yeah, so also in business, where we bought the lie of you cannot be too joyful, because that means maybe that you don't have enough work, you have much more capacities and time to work, or people will not see you serious. Yeah, cool, how much fun can you have with those judgments about you? And I experienced it often also in my foundation class, I have to say, that people were coming and everything was too easy in their life, and they got judged all the time about the way they are creating their life, and that everything is too easy for them. This is also such an insanity. Yeah, amazing what we buy from other people. And that was her biggest problem. And what if your biggest problem is your joy and your ease? What if you make this to your main problem? Because it's not a problem for you, it's a problem for other people. If they don't acknowledge the gift you are, and if they don't acknowledge your joy, and then it's their problem. They are judging you because you are too joyful, and they are not allowing themselves to be that joy. That what you said, Nadia, before, everyone was judging you because you are joyful, but people didn't receive or didn't allow themselves to be joyful.
Yeah, that's so true. And I had one thing in mind, but my cat came from outside and I needed to open.
I saw her.
Yeah. So how can, like, is there some tools, or like, what would you say to people if they, and yeah, one thing I wanted to also address before I ask you this, it's like, if you can perceive the joy in others, like, and some super joyful people, if you can acknowledge their joy, you are also having that joy, because otherwise you won't be able to recognize it in others. Some people are afraid, oh, I cannot be that joyful, but it's not true. If you can see somebody who is being that joyful, then you are being that joyful. You're just expressing it maybe differently, because there is no rule how you should be when you are joyful, but at least put a smile on your face. This is what Dane would probably said to you. At least get your face know that you are happy when you are happy, but there is no euphoria is required. You can be peaceful and joyful at the same time. Yeah. So, and I wanted to ask you, like, some people are maybe so trained and so used to depression, or not really depression, but this sadness, or this depressed mood, which is not a real depression, but it's far away from the joy. So how can they and they now want to be more joyful at this, they would like to choose more joy. So what can they do, or how can they remind themselves, or maybe is there a tool they can use daily to get in touch and become and choose more of joy?
So first of all, acknowledge that you are joy. Really acknowledge it. And even if you have to write it down on a post-it or whatever, acknowledge that you are joy. Whenever you are sad or depressed, please send it back with consciousness attached. This is number 2, and it's a really strong tool. Number 3, I would say all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. Number 4, mean it. Mean it like that and do it. And really acknowledge also number 5, if you want another tool, acknowledge also that it's your choice. And even if you have to fake a smile, just smile for at least 1 minute, and you will just inform your face, even if it's a fake a smile like this. Just bring yourself into this mood. And what you said, we have a lot of definitions how joy feels, maybe, and we can talk about that as well. So
yes,
we think, if I'm joyful, I have to smile all the time, I have to jump around in my living room, or I'm super, as you said, euphoria. You can, but if you are truly yourself, it doesn't feel like anything. So we get into this conclusion, okay, I'm not feeling something specific. I'm not feeling this, I'm so happy. and then people are making themselves wrong again and think, oh, I'm not joyful, which is actually also not true.
Yeah. Yes, actually being joyful, it's like it can be really super spacious. You have this space of being you and peace in a way. So it doesn't need to feel a specific way. That's very important that you acknowledge, because maybe sometimes you are joyful, but because it doesn't match with your definition, you will judge yourself and create a distraction, or destroy this space. So that's so cool to know. How cool, Sophie. Amazing. Awesome.
And another very nice tool is get your bus run. It helps against stress and depression.
And Saturday is actually a global bars day. So get your bars run on Saturday, wherever you are in the world, because the energy are going to be way more dynamic and intense. 500,000 of people will do it around the world. So like if you haven't felt bars before on global bars day, you will definitely perceive the energy,
on that day you cannot be unhappy. That's not working.
No, it's not working. You can try to pretend, but it won't work. So
and that's a good thing, because depression is you have to try really hard. For joy, you don't have to try hard. Being joyful, what if being joyful is the easiest thing on earth?
Wow, that's a great one. It doesn't require force or effort. It's just what you be. Because once I remember one example, like if you all lost your memory right now, like you forget what you don't have, what is wrong with your life and everything that you have decided, like would you be sad or happy the moment when you will open your eyes without memory, without any memory? Will you start crying and go into the sadness and depression, or will you be more excited, like, wow, what is this, and like happy? So what will you choose? And this is the example which shows you that your natural state is joy. Because you will naturally be that, because you are that. You just can choose this and allow yourself to be it, and kids have that. So you can just remind yourself that this is no force is required. It's just what you be. And Sophie is such a joy bomb. You can see it like everywhere. So I can't wait for you to be here and to contribute just with your joyful presence. You know, it's like it's just presence is contributing so much, because you are being that, you are walking joyfully, you are, you know, you are this playful lady that I super adore. So how cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
my
really
boyfriend, he's also on this call today,
Uh-huh.
and I made so much fun today, and he was like, oh my God, Sophie, what's going on with you? What kind of drugs
too
did
much
you
fun
take?
for an Austrian woman, you know.
And I was doing just nonsense stuff today, and was like singing and la 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 la, and he was like, oh God. It was really funny, but he's also a very funny guy. Thank you, Christoph. I adore you.
How cool. Awesome. That's so cool. I love it. Yeah. And also like people, like everybody should dance a little bit, or, you know, be a little bit funny, you know, and be a little bit crazy. This is maybe what we invite more joy, you know, be a little bit crazy and funny when you do some I don't know, regular things, you know, when you prepare a meal, or just dance around your apartment and see what this energy will create, or listen to some music that will contribute to your joy.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly. Just do something stupid, something silly, you know. Yeah. So how much fun can we have? Yeah.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you. Thanks to the wonderful translators. Thank you, Nadia, for inviting me.
Yay. Goodbye. Thank you. Good night. Thank you, everyone.